The last few years, all the way to the final last season, looking to go one better this time around against the team who were on their best run ever in the competition. Pretty formidable opposition that Fylde are coming up against today, though, as they take on Chelsea, the 9 times winners who cruised into round 4. This was way back in November. This competition was paused because of the national lockdown. But Chelsea took just 90 seconds to go ahead here. Jude Soon-Sut-Bell, who is not involved today, scored 4 goals, including a first-half hat-trick. Tommy Langley's alongside me for commentary for this afternoon's game. Tommy, as in this match, it might all be about attitude and application for Chelsea, and in this match, they got it spot on.
Yes, exactly that. You have to go out there and break their hearts very early on, and we certainly did that against Barnsley in this game. Soon-Sut-Bell, as you said, with a first-half hat-trick, got the job done for us. I mean, they got a consolation goal, which you'll see here from a set-piece, but apart from that, it was Chelsea superiority all game. And Fylde will come today hopeful of a major upset, but as you said, our record in this competition is second to none, so you expect the boys to go through quite comfortably. But it's all about application, Matt. You're so right, putting yourselves in the frame, making sure you do the right things, good habits, and get the job done.
The goals just got better and better as this game went on as well. How about this for a free kick from Ben Elliott? He was only just off the bench. We'll see him again from the start in this afternoon's match, but I'm sure Fylde will have watched this in the build-up to the game. Maybe their coach switched it off when it got to 4 or 5 instead.
I'm not sure you actually want to watch too much of this, man. It might have broke their hearts before they kicked off. But as you said, they know there's a lot of talent in them blue shirts.
Brilliant goals. They carried on coming. That was pretty special, to say the least, from Harvey Vale. But I think the final goal was actually the best of the bunch. Look at this from Lewis Bate. My goodness me. Goalkeeper had barely moved by the time the ball was past him. Wonderful stuff, and he will captain Chelsea again today, as he did all the way to the final last season. Well, the competition back underway then, and all the teams that you probably would expect to progress have done so, although Spurs made hard work of it at Wimbledon. They needed extra time to get through there. Big win for West Ham against Norwich, traditionally strong in this competition. Arsenal through already. But we know, Tommy, the draw for the 5th and 6th round have already been made, and should Chelsea win today, they'll take on either Manchester City or Everton at home. We know all about the rivalry between Chelsea and Manchester City in this competition of recent years.
Yeah, it could be a rerun of last season's final, and as you said, Chelsea and Man City have matched up against each other many times. Last year, Man City got the better, but before that, Chelsea have had the better run. So, but Everton will have something to say about that as well, and so, you know, it's a tough tie ahead. Looking at that, though, I'm surprised that Burton Albion beat Southampton. Southampton also had a good record in this competition and brings some good kids through, and obviously that's a good scout for Burton Albion. But it's all about Chelsea and Fylde today, and as I said, I expect Chelsea to get the job done very comfortably, and looking forward to either Man City or Everton in the next round.
And then in the quarter-final, it would be either Spurs or West Brom. But that is a long time away, although I say that, all those games have got to be played by the 1st of May as they try and rush through this competition after the unscheduled break. But Chelsea, 9 times winners, 7 times in the 2010s, including 5 in a row, beaten in that really thrilling final at St George's Park back in November. Usually played over 2 legs, of course, the Youth Cup semis and final, but because of the circumstances we've all been living with, it was just a single leg over a weekend for the semis and for the final. Just waiting the emergence of the 2 teams here. Not that they will come together, of course, the way things are these days. Fylde have done magnificently to get to this stage. They've already put out 3 EFL teams, knocked out Morecambe first of all, then a win against Sunderland. Bit of a caveat with that, in that Sunderland actually finished with 8 players in that match, although they did have 11 for a reasonable stretch of it. And then a 3-2 win away to Cambridge. That was only a fortnight ago. Here come the Chelsea boys, and Fylde are well aware that this is a huge step up for them from what has happened before. Big for Ed Brand too, of course, Tommy. Got to the final last season, wants to go one better and match his predecessors.
Yeah, I mean, look at the success coaches have had, you know, down the line, and they've all gone on to coach first teams at various levels. So I'm sure Ed will be liking to get his name on that sheet as well, and go up the ladder. But as I said, he's got a good enough team out there today, enough experience. We've done the PL2 games this year, and there's a lot of these boys have been plying their trade in that leagues as well. So as I said, hopefully today, as long as the commitment's right and the organisation, I'm sure, will be there as well, the job should be quite comfortable.
Yeah, interesting team talk for him, isn't it? I guess he'll be using words like complacency and game management, and the lads might say, yeah, you said that to us against Barnsley as well. that worked out okay.
Yeah, I'm sure he does, but there's not a lot. As I said, these boys are technically gifted. They know a lot about the game. As I said, they're playing PL2 games against big clubs. They're big games every week when you play for Chelsea. So, as I said, the commitment's got to be right, and it's a stranger team talk today, I'm sure, but I'm sure he's put his point across.
No supporters, of course, allowed in the stadium at the moment, or we hope that will change in the not too distant future, but there definitely will be plenty of scouts about. There are plenty of press in attendance too. But it's also, I mean, obviously it's a big game for Fylde. It's going to be the biggest game of some of their players' careers, but it's a great opportunity to put themselves in the spotlight that they wouldn't normally get playing in regional football in the Northwest.
Matt, that was going to be my point about Fylde today. It's a showcase. That's what it is. They are showcasing themselves. There will be scouts there looking to see how they've got this far forward, how they've beat a Category A club in Sunderland. Yes, they finished with 8 men, but you've got to get the job done, and they did it quite comfortably. And there'll be 1 or 2 of these boys that might attract them scouts that are sat there in the stands today. So, yeah, Fylde will be looking to make their own point during this game, even if they can't win it.
Chelsea have been fairly inconsistent, actually, in terms of their under-18 Premier League form. But this is a mix and match team, pretty much. As Tommy alluded to, you'll be familiar with some of these names from the Chelsea under-23 side. League form up and down, inconsistent, really. Won 3-1 at Southampton last weekend, as we see the Fylde team take to the pitch. They have had very little football of late, other than the Youth Cup. Their league, the Northwest Youth Alliance, was suspended in December, and it will only resume this weekend, actually. So they played a training match against Fylde's first team this week in the build-up to this to try and help them get ready for it. Fylde, a club on the coast up in the Northwest with big ambitions and a fair bit of money behind them as well to try and get themselves into the Football League, and their youth development is a part of that too, of course. Well, Chelsea are presenting Fylde with a Chelsea shirt, as you can see, with Bennett on the back. It's dedicated to Luke Bennett, a Fylde player, only 17 years old, who died in a tragic accident last month. It's obviously an extra motivation for the Fylde players, but also something which puts the game into perspective. Really horrible thing for these young Fylde players to have to have gone through. They dedicated their win against Cambridge in the last round to the memory of their friend Luke Bennett, and Neil Bath, the head of the Chelsea Academy, will make the presentation before we get going here. And it's a really classy and I'm sure much appreciated touch.
Yeah, it's tragic when people die at any age, Matt, but at the age of 17-year-olds, and you know, this team, they would have reeled from that. And we saw yesterday another young man, 32, at Yeovil, dying as well. So you know, I feel for them, and it's a great gesture by Chelsea to put Bennett on a Chelsea shirt. I'm sure they'll remember that.
Well, let's have a look at the 11 that Ed Brand has selected to start this game then. Plenty of experience, if such a thing is possible, in youth football. Tino Livramento, Levi Colwill, Lewis Bate, the captain, Ben Elliott and Brian Fear-Bamer all started the final last season. Prince Adegoke back in goal. We've not seen too much of him this season. He's had a lot of injury problems, so interesting to see how he gets on. Silko Thomas amongst the substitutes has been away with England this week. Dion Rankin, plenty of experience too. And Jimmy Tarainen is the Finn, who has been getting rave reviews down at Cobham, so we might see a couple of those later. Won't surprise you to know there aren't too many familiar names in the Fylde team. Conor Prendergast is their coach. Reece Long's one to watch. He scored against Sunderland, as did Sam Birch. Sam Gibbons, the defender, has also got a goal in this run too. But I guess the key man, Tommy, might be number 31, Aaron Lancaster, the goalkeeper. You sense he's in for a busy afternoon?
I sense he might be, yes. And I'm sure he'll have his gloves nice and warm already. But no, as I said earlier, you know, I think they'll try and conduct themselves in a professional manner. I think they'll sit back. I think they'll invite Chelsea on and hopefully ride the wave and get 1 or 2 opportunities themselves. We saw Barnsley score from a set piece, and if they get that right, they'll always create a danger. We've seen this week in international football, high up the ladder, that mistakes are key. And you look at Germany losing to North Macedonia. You look at the mistake that was made for England against Poland, you know, when Stones gives the ball away. and if silly mistakes can bring teams onto you. So we've got to make sure we keep it right today.
Pitch looks in superb condition. All we need to do is find somebody to kick off, and then we'll be ready to go. There he is, Aaron Lancaster. Let's see how Chelsea approach this game, whether they go for it from the off. The Fylde allow them to do that. I guess for Fylde, the key is, it's difficult, really trying not to sound patronising, but to stay in the game for as long as they possibly can.
Yeah, I mean, and frustrate Chelsea. They know Chelsea are going to be slick with the ball. They're going to be passing the ball around at pace, and the movement's going to be good. But as you say, keep their shape, keep themselves in the game as long as they can. And maybe hope, as I said earlier, for a set piece that can keep them get the odd goal. But if Chelsea do it right, I think it could be a good afternoon's work ahead.
Here is Lewis Bates, crisp passer of the ball midfield for Chelsea. Harris will play it down the line on for Livramento, who will play more like a wide player, one would assume. Here's Livramento. Now Bate. This is how we expect their pattern of the game to be with Chelsea having most of the possession, but look at the Fylde penalty area, Tommy, already stacked with white shirts.
Yeah, and the furthest forward is their midfield player. And look at him, he's what, sort of 20 yards inside their half. So I think, as I said, they're going to keep nice and compact, going to try and negate the space in between the lines. Lewis Bate with his lovely left foot here should be opening doors for us. And but I think, as I said, it could be a war of attrition early on, and keep our patience and play the ball at pace like they're trying to do now.
Here's Livramento, who's looking for a quick give and go with Charlie Webster, but it came back his way anyway via a defender. Webster's there backing him up. Bate. Fylde very set in their positions already.
Come on, Levi, you ready, Lee?
Elliott.
Quick up.
Here's Bate again.
And product.
Livramento to wait for the ball to reach him. That allowed the defender to get back, but he put in a great cross anyway, and Fiorbeema's header was fumbled by the goalkeeper.
Well, I think he's got to score, Brian Fiorbeema here. It's a great ball in for Tino Livramento from the right-hand side. Just before that, Ed Brand shouted out pace, and obviously he wanted the game to be upped a little bit, the pace of the game, and sure enough, down the right-hand side, Tino did it. Got to the byline, crossed a great ball in. Brian Fiorbeema, 6 yards out, hits the target, but he's got to finish that, man.
Player who's been struggling for goals of late, the Norwegian. See, today is a good opportunity to boost his confidence in that regard, but an early opportunity's got away from him. Bate pushing it out for Colwill. We're debating the Chelsea formation. Tommy certainly looks like three at the back with Gilchrist, Humphreys and Colwill.
Yeah, I think they're playing free, and obviously we've seen Livramento on the right, and Harvey Val would be on the left-hand side, who's got a great left foot as well, so plenty of width out there, right and left side.
Bate trying that reverse ball, chipped in toward Ben Elliott, but got too much on it that time. Last go at this for Lewis Bate, of course, captain in the final last season. Scored that outrageous goal against Barnsley that we saw.
I thought it was a miss it. I mean, he's got a great left foot, and he's like a wand, and that was as true a hit as you'll ever see.
And of course, every player in English youth football wants to win this. It is still the big one. But the fact that the UEFA Youth League's been cancelled this season gives this added importance for teams like Chelsea, doesn't it? Because this is the only knockout cup competition they're playing in.
And our record in the UEFA competition has been very, very good in the recent years. And you say this is a major one. But this is with your mates. This is with your boys you've grown up with. And I've always said, you know, in our commentaries that it's very important for these to get the FA Youth Cup on your list, especially with the record this football club's got.
Yeah, some of these Chelsea players have been together since the age of 8. Well, as expected in the early stages, it's been played almost exclusively in Fylde's half of the field, but so far they're managing to resist. Not a great ball from Livramento. Gilchrist almost got on it anyway. Weren't able to prevent the corner. Chance for Gilchrist to cross now.
Oh, a ball.
Fylde at chest height. Oh well, missed his touch. Now there's a chance for Fylde to cross halfway, or nearly. Colwill says thanks, mate, to Bashir Humphries, who got him out of trouble.
Yeah, he did. I mean, as I said, I think it's just a lack of concentration. Obviously, slipped on the turf. We saw it being watered before the game, a little bit zippy out there. Just lost his footing. But that can happen. That's what I'm saying about this. You can see how Fylde have set up. They're going to just suck the game in and try and frustrate Chelsea. And one little slip, one little mistake, and they get an opportunity.
Strong challenge there from Gilchrist. Span up for Livramento. Here's Pert Harris. A couple of injury problems of late, Miles Pert Harris, but looking his way back to fitness now. It's looped up high into the sky from Harvey Gregson. Bake with Livramento to his right, came in field instead. Webster does like to shoot from long range, the Chelsea number 8. Passed up the opportunity there, so Bake could move it wide. Bake clicks it in with his left. Good run round the back from Livramento, who was trying to pick out a colleague and nobody could quite grow the extra couple of inches to turn it in.
That was a fantastic ball from Lewis Bate. Again, he's got a fantastic rapport with Timo Livramento. We've seen it at all levels, and pings a great ball to him at the far stick there. It's a bit of a tough one because it's on the volley there. I'm not sure if he wants to shoot or get it across, because if it was across, it was way over hit. But again, an opportunity for Chelsea to test the back four there. They're playing so deep. We need balls like that to try and stretch them a little bit more.
Interesting one, Livramento, isn't he? Only 18, but already feel like he might be outgrowing under-23 football, never mind under-18. So maybe a loan, who knows, to somebody like Fylde or League 2, League 1 might be his destination next season. I
think Tino's been exceptional in every game I've watched this year. I think he's been exceptional, as has this young man, Lewis Bate. I'm a fan of both of them. I think he'll have to go out on loan next year as well, because PL2 football, I think he's, even at this age, he's outgrown that already. He needs that first-team experience at whatever level.
Still looking for a give and go, and then Pert Harris went down in the box, but the referee just tells him to get back up again. Obviously, it's about ability and ability to stick to a game plan as well, but for both teams, it's about concentration as much as anything else today, isn't it? Because if you've got the ball all the time, but you're just passing it round, that can make you a little bit lazy sometimes, whereas if you haven't got it at all, that's exhausting.
Yeah, I mean, I have to say, I think the first 7 minutes, Chelsea's the tempo of the game's been very good. I mean, obviously, we knew what Fylde would try to do, was trying to frustrate, so there's been no surprises, and I'm sure the coaches on the sideline will realise that. But Chelsea are passing the ball around really well, but obviously at the moment, they haven't got that final product in the final third, but that will come.
Here's Vale.
Where are we, Brian?
Harris let it run. Gilchrist. Maybe he wasn't aware that Livramento was in support of him.
No, but I still think that, you know, you heard again Ed from the side there said, you know, give it to Tino, and I think that he's sort of negating that space for Tino in there. I mean, Gilchrist is going in there with the right endeavour, but he's just blocking that space, and if you want someone to get the quality in, it's got to be Livramento, not him.
Here's Vale. Back from Fylde. Oh, the goalkeeper again, less than certain with his handling.
Yeah, again, he's fumbled it, but no Chelsea striker there following it up. And again, it's a nice little 1-2 here. Plays it to Fylde, gets the ball back, and he just tries to guide it, doesn't he? Don't put his laces through it, just tries to guide it into that far corner. Keeper gets down and makes a save. But again, look at the amount of bodies he's had to go through to get it. There's probably 6 bodies in front of him.
Nice touch of the ball for Prince Adegoke in the Chelsea goal.
Oh.
Livramento missed his touch. Right, doing the keepy-ups now, Tino.
He's just proven he can actually control the ball.
Well, he's a player with the world at his feet, but the only unfortunate thing for Tino Livramento is that he plays in the position where not only Chelsea, England, everybody these days, it seems, are incredibly well stocked. The Chelsea Academy's record of churning out right-sided defenders come midfielders, extraordinary in the last couple of years. Here's Pert Harris. Livramento going for the left-footed cross that time. It was a decent ball as well, but the referee had seen something in the middle he didn't like.
Yeah, I think it was contact. Harvey Val, just as his ball got played the other side of him, just pushed the defender away there and give a free kick away. But you're right with Tino. I mean, obviously, looking at what's in front of him, you know, in the first team, it's a tall order to go forward at Chelsea. But you've got to back yourself, you know. And I'm critical of Tariq Lamptey not backing himself when he was here, deciding to go off to Brighton. Maybe that's a good move for him, maybe not. But I think if you've got confidence in yourself and your ability, you should stick at it and then see where it goes.
And, you know, as we saw with Reece James, you have an outstanding loan, and that can put you straight back in the Chelsea first team coaches thinking. Because he was Wigan's Player of the Year, and by a mile, wasn't he, when he was there, and that was playing in midfield, defence.
Well, I was actually just going to say, you know, yeah, he's here as a right back, but if you saw the goal he scored against Bristol City for Wigan, it was a weldy, and he picked the ball up the halfway line and smashed the ball in. So, you know, he's a man of many talents, but at the moment playing his trade at that right wing back position.
Here's Bate. Wales cross, Livramento.
Oh, great finish.
And the header from Pert Harris, second time round, went wide. It was really firmly struck by Tino Livramento.
Again, it's a great ball. Harvey Val on the left-hand side, pings it to the far stick. Tino comes in. Again, Lewis Bate is sending it up. Harvey Val gets it out of his feet, pings it to the far stick there. Tino Livramento coming in, volleys it. Keeper gets lucky, gets his body in the way and can't hold on to it. Ricochets into the box, but unfortunately the header, I think it's from Pert Harris, goes wide of that far post.
Some really good quality deliveries from both flanks so far for Chelsea. Bale. Bale can link up with Bate on that occasion, but Webster got it back. Doubling up on Livramento now, Fylde. That's it. Has allowed Bate to get back into possession. Here's Livramento feeding it down the line for Pert Harris. Bodies thrown in the way for Fylde.
Well, 12 minutes in, I think they're riding their luck a little bit at the back. The keepers made 3 saves, but not held on to any of them. But they're getting bodies in the way, and again, it's that element of frustration. And Chelsea, you see they're probing, passing the ball around, trying to do it at pace, but they've got so many bodies back there, Fylde.
Went a goal down early on at Cambridge in the last round as Bate has a thumb. Oh, he didn't miss by much, did he? Goalkeeper looked the picture of calmness as the ball whistled past him. Probably feared getting in the way of that.
Yeah, I mean, I've got to say, his first intention, you can see straight away, he gets the ball out of his feet there, and he's got, as I said, a wand of a left foot, smashes it. Unfortunately, doesn't hit the target, which is the one downside. But I'd like to see him and Charlie Webster do a little bit more of that and get people out of that sort of penalty box. And because we played it wide, which is fine, but we're not disrupting the middle of their team at the moment, and that would have done. That would have put the alarm bells ringing there. And I said, the more chance we get to shoot from the angles, the better.
Humphreys. Crystal bring it out of defence for Chelsea. Here's Bate. 2 backs of 4 in front of him. Gives it to Webster. But Harris moved it on for Vale, trying to get it out of his feet quickly. No foul there, according to the referee. Webster looking for Livramento. Easily away from his man. Stood up another decent cross, albeit that time a bit too close to Aaron Lancaster.
Yeah, he did. He went past Sam Birch far too easily for Fylde's point of view, but I've got to say, I think Miles Harris has gone down very easy on that far side. I didn't think it was a free kick, but it's a decent ball in, but that's got to be food and drink to the keeper all day long.
Harris is still down. I mentioned he's a player who's been struggling with injuries over the last couple of months.
I don't deny there was contact there. I didn't think it was a free kick. I thought he went over a little bit too easy. And to be fair, the referee was stood 5 yards away and saw it the same as myself. But obviously, a little bit of a niggle there for Miles Harris.
Livramento.
Come in, come up. Go in, Tino. Lock on the box, blue.
Bale looking to tease. Use his right foot, he did there.
Runs.
Bait. Bale. Into Fiabema.
It goes, movement hard. In swing, yes.
But Harris seems to be moving okay now.
Give it in. Got away back. Be aware of him. Be aware.
Bate just trying something a bit tricky. Fylde will be reasonably pleased with how the opening 17 minutes have gone.
I think they will. I think the shape's good. I think they're frustrating Chelsea. This little man's trying to pull the cords in midfield and make passes like that. Unfortunately, that one was overhit. But yeah, they've had a couple of opportunities, mainly sort of from the wide areas, Livramento and Val, but no end products. And as I said, the keeper's made 3 saves and caught 1 cross. Apart from that, you know, he's not really been tested as much as you expect in the opening 16 minutes.
Brand, formerly assistant, has tasted victory in this competition before, but he wants to put his own stamp on it. You can hear the constant encouragement from the Fylde bench whenever anything remotely positive happens. That'll be key for them, I'm sure. Harry Gregson fouled on halfway.
They went into a round of applause just now when they won a flick-on. They genuinely did, and it went off for a throw-on at the far end. And I was just thinking, it just shows you, that what they're trying to get out of this game and trying to scrap their way to a victory.
Chance for a cross here from Birch, maybe blocked at source though. Well, any form of set piece, he'd include a throw in that, in this kind of position. Half a chance for Fylde to get the ball into the Chelsea penalty area. Birch himself, he takes it. Here's Vale. Bert Harris. Livramento. Oh, managed to work it out wide to Bate, although he asked a bit of him with the pass.
It's a foul.
Where was that? Referee didn't even think it was a foul. It was right on the edge of the box. Ben Elliott.
Well, I think Ben Elliott definitely gets caught on the back of the heel here, and that's, for me, that's right on the line, which would give it a penalty. If you see, as he plays it in there, he's got the ball there, and it's definitely contact, and I think that's in the box. But referee again, look, he's got a great view, 10 yards away, decides not a penalty for him.
Our player will need some treatment here, might just give an opportunity for Ed Brandt to get some messages across.
Yeah, all I've heard from Ed is tempo, 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 and I think that's right. I mean, just now they had a throw on in our corner, in our right-back position, and obviously we broke play up, but we didn't break quickly enough. We got the ball out onto the left-hand side, and by the time we got it out there, they got their bodies back, and I think we have to really, really break at pace, and as I said, take a few chances, a few pot shots from 20 yards. We've seen the goalkeeper mishandle 3 of the shots at goal, and test him some more. The more I look at that, the more it's a penalty, but as I said, the referee bit lenient. The Pert Harris challenge just now where there was contact, he didn't give a free kick, so at least he's been consistently bad.
It's the skipper, Main Wilder, who's got the problem. One of those who scored against Sunderland. So that was in round 2. They had a player sent off in the first half, Sunderland, and then 2 more in the later stages. 3-1 win, that after they'd beaten Morecambe 4-1, and then that 3-2 at Cambridge. Sunderland, obviously the standout there, Tommy. They're a proper team when it comes to academy football, so that's a really notable scout.
Yeah, it's a fantastic facility up there, Sunderland as well, and you know, they do bring through good players, so it's a great scout to have.
Past the 20-minute mark, Chelsea still looking to make the breakthrough here. Here's Vale. Elliott. Shot from Webster just where he likes to hit them from, but lacked accuracy that time.
Yeah, he did, but I don't mind that. I mean, again, the play was on the left-hand side, and they really got plenty of bodies behind the ball. You can see him here. There's very little room to play little 1-2s. His ball breaks to him, and he has a smash at it. Obviously, I'd rather he would hit the target, a bit like Val earlier, but, you know, it's, at the end of the day, get that habit of shooting. I think that's the key here.
Alfie, Bash, Levi, you're live again.
Flipped into the sky by Lancaster. Merest of nudges in the back from Bashir Humphreys, and the referee gives Fylde a free kick.
Yeah, it's just 2 on the spin now, long balls. Gilchrist give the first one away on this right-hand side, and on that occasion, the referee again got a good view. It's the big boy Harvey Gregson who's just making himself a bit of a nuisance. He's not doing a lot up there, but it's a silly push in the back, and as I said, the referee's 5 yards away. Again, he gives a easy decision for the ref.
The worst ball floated in, but Gilchrist got his head to it, and now Bacon looks to lead the break. Let's see how quickly Chelsea can manage it. Bake's done well to shrug off Main Wilder. Pert Harris. Here's Fiabima. Livramento. Fylde, to their credit, got back just as quickly as Chelsea got forward there.
But we did end up with 4 defenders at the back as opposed to 8, so and it was an opportunity for Tino Livramento, but there was no Chelsea bodies in the box when he put the ball in.
Here's Elliott. Bate. Lovely ball. Webster just trying to bludgeon his way through, but couldn't quite.
No, again, it was a sharp ball from Lewis Bate that set something up, but again, they got the bodies in the way.
Floater from Livramento. Goalkeeper saw it from a long way, but didn't get it. Bima feels that the last touch came off Lancaster, but the referee says goal kick.
Yeah, again, it's a hopeful ball from Livramento on this occasion, but it just shows you get the ball in danger area. The goalkeeper comes, actually turns his back on it, turns his head, loses complete vision of the ball, but Fiabima at the same time sort of ducks, and they get a little bit lucky there, and it goes over the bar. I did think it actually caught the goalkeeper, but I think Fiabima, if he'd kept his eye on it, could have done a lot more damage.
A decent spell in front of goal toward the back end of last year, Ryan Fiabima, but he struggled to recreate that form in 2021, the Norwegian. What are we, 2nd of April? We've got the floodlights on at lunchtime. Classic English weather this week.
Sunglasses on Tuesday and floodlights on today.
And snow to come next week.
Snow on Monday, yeah, happy days.
Well, you would expect this from Fylde. Every time they've had a goal kick or a throw-in, they have absolutely pulised it. And even now, we'll take that extra couple of seconds. Well, within their right to do so until the referee tells them not to, of course.
Well, exactly that. I mean, he's taking his time. He probably took 30 seconds there, but the referee wasn't hurrying him up at this stage.
Alfie, start coming higher now. Higher, Steve. Get it out.
Livramento, Gilchrist made a run from him from defence.
Go in out, in out.
Bale managed to clip his cross up, but Harris in the middle had lost his footing. Harris.
Move it. Go on, Alfie. Stay away, Ben.
This place one, it's a rarity.
Get it again back.
I'm sure with this game in mind, they've played a lot of attack v defence, but I'm pretty sure they couldn't have envisaged this 25 minutes in. I mean, as I said, the shape of the team's real good, and their frustration tactics are really working.
Can they maintain this level of discipline and concentration? Here's Gilchrist.
Come alive, Brian, where are we? Now feed it wide, crosses. Get in the box. Lock the box, Louis Banks.
Never showed too much of it that time to the defender.
Defender looks up and just sees green pastures in front of him. There's no white shirt in front of him at all. They're all behind him, and said it was a good challenge there on Harvey Val, but they got no get-out ball at all at the moment.
He's feeding it. He's doing it. Don't get ball. Positive, Tino. Stay away. Get it, deliver, Luke.
Great play from Livramento. Decent ball as well, just too high for Vale, who was trying to meet it at the far stick.
Don't foul.
And Gibbons gets it away, but it's just going to come straight back from whence it came.
Feed him again. Feed him again.
It's Gilchrist, the latest to cross. That was a really good one as well.
It was a great ball. I thought Peter Harris could have got a touch on that, you know, but still got a chance.
Vale shot kicked away from the edge of the 6-yard box. Webster's picked up the pieces. Deflection on his cross, and they're behind for the first corner of the game.
Yeah, it was a great ball in from the right-hand side there. It was Alfie Gilchrist who got forward and thinks a great ball. I think Harris could have made a little bit more of that on this occasion. Val gets it in, tries to get it, thread it into that near post, but again, they save it there and clear the danger.
Oh. Gilchrist met that. Oh my goodness me, he ought to have done a bit better. Maybe just timed his leap incorrectly there, I think.
Yeah, I think he just got in front of the ball there, and the ball was just sort of great pace, and he didn't need to just generate a flick there. And as I said, he goes in there, and I think he's just a little bit behind him and just tries to generate it at the pace and get it on the target, and misheads it. But for all the lovely football we play, it might just be a set piece that we can break the ice with.
Webster's headed down into space for Elliott. Bale getting up in support left-hand side. Webster. Chris overlapping Livramento, who came in field to bait instead. Livramento that time.
Yes, Tino. Right, get us straight. In Levi. Yes, Brian. Yes, Brian.
Bait.
Higher half.
Well under pressure there, Chelsea.
Now go. They've got a few bodies forward there.
Elliott. Out as far as Webster. Well, we're getting towards half an hour gone now.
Yeah, and we've tried that little 1-2 a couple of times, and Lewis Bates overhit the pass. There's no space in behind for that to work, and as good as left foot as he's got, that's a real hard pass to make. And that element of frustration is just starting to kick in for me. You know, that they're not getting any joy in the final third, haven't created as many chances as you'd like half an hour in, and to give Fylde credit and their coaching staff, they set their team up in a way to frustrate, and they're certainly doing that.
He's had to get that right. Elliott using his strength to barge his opponent off the ball. What's being fouled, referee says play on. On goes Pert Harris. Livramento wanted it again. He on a different wavelength to his colleague.
That's disappointing from Miles there. He's got to be better than that. And that ball was on, but not at that when he played it.
Conrad Prendergast, who's the coach of Fylde, he's not under any illusions about the size of his task. He says Chelsea are miles ahead of us in terms of ability, size of club and its infrastructure. We will be trying to win the game. Certainly done well in terms of frustrating Chelsea, if that is the closest they've come to scoring at the other end.
Well, that'll go down the stats as a shot off target, but it was from his own half.
Up to Chelsea to try and find a way to pick this lock. Livramento. Pert Harris at the Chelsea corner. This was the effort a moment ago from Owen Robinson, who did score in the last round. Now then, can they get this in and around the goalkeeper, Lancaster? Not short to Webster, better angle for the cross from Bates second time round, or that was the hope at least. Harvey Vale's back minding the shot.
Yeah, training ground set piece didn't work there, did it? Again, that's the opportunity to get the ball in the box. We've got 3 or 4 of the centre halves are big boys from Chelsea, so, you know, get the ball in the right areas. You'd expect they'd win their battles, but that was a poor set piece.
Bram wants his team to up the pace, and it comes from Vale. Poor header clear as far as Webster. It'll come for Livramento. Great block in the middle of all that. And out to Vale, he'll have a thump. And Fylde are living on the edge, but they've got away with it.
Well, again, you've got to give them credit. They're just getting bodies in the way, and they're dying for the cause at the moment, and the coach will be really pleased. Again, ball's played in from Harvey Vale from that left-hand side. He gets played into, and again, appealing for handball, but I don't think you can give that. Falls to Livramento, gets deflected to the far post, and again, they get bodies in the way.
Here's Livramento again. Scooped in that time. Oh, and Lancaster just about dealt with it. That would have been a fortuitous way for Fiabima to break his duck.
Well, it was a simple ball in from Livramento, and I think he hits Elliott first. I think Elliott flicks it there, and it goes on to Fiabima, who makes contact with it. But again, it's a simple save for the keeper. And again, it's Fiabima's turning his head. I don't like to see that. He did it from the ball played in earlier, which the keeper come out for. You know, if he gets a good contact on there, I think he can direct it into the other corner where the goalkeeper isn't placed.
Come on, let's get a goal. Come on.
Colwell. Webster.
React, Jess, Luke.
Foul, but referee playing on with bait in possession. Infield to Beamer. That was a decent effort.
It was a decent effort, and to be fair, he's lacking a little bit of confidence in there, but that certainly didn't lack confidence. He's got the ball out of his feet, only one thing in his mind, to slam it into that near post, and unfortunately just misses the target there, but that's better from Brian Beamer.
Nice reaction from the keeper there. Yeah, don't worry, I had that covered. There's definitely, that would not have broken my wrist and ended up in the net. 10 minutes of the first half left. You can hear from the Chelsea bench a bit of frustration there. Get a goal was the rather simple message.
Yeah, it was a simple cry, wasn't it? And then we've heard a lot of pace and, you know, move the ball, and that's exactly what we have to do. Fylde appealing for a free kick on the halfway line again. Again, it's their number 8, Harvey Gregson, who's got a whack from the centre half.
Yeah, clash of heads meant the referee stopped it straight away. Looking at it again, I am suspicious.
Yeah, well, it looks as though he jumped into Humphreys there, and yeah, I'm not so sure there was a lot of contact. Just looking at Ed Brand there, you know, he's actually just said there, have some shots. Let's start having some shots from distance. And I made that point earlier. You know, we're playing the ball out wide, which is great. But I think if you get the ball out of your feet, especially with Bate and the quality he's got in there, just give it a smash. You might get a deflection. You know, the goalkeeper's not held on to a lot today, Matt. You know, and let's test him some more. But we seem to want to play it out wide, which is fine. But we've had no real bodies in the box to finish it off.
Of course, no such thing as a contested drop ball anymore. Harris got the block on. Here's Vale. Gregson back on, so Fylde back up to the full complement. Actually won their last 9 matches in League and Cup, have Fylde, albeit that's over a fairly long period of time. They will be absolutely thrilled with how they've done so far. Here's Livramento though.
Get it out there, just spin there. Just it wide, go across, Luke.
Bert Harris. Bate trying to catch the goalkeeper out.
Yeah, again, it's a cross ball out of frustration. There wasn't really a lot on for Lewis Bate there, and he's played the ball into the area, hoping a striker's going to go in there, and no striker made the run.
Gilchrist going to bring it out of defence. Here's Vale. This was sliced in. Fia Beamer didn't get it anywhere near the target that time.
No, the ball didn't really favour him. It was hung up. There was no pace on it. He had to try and generate everything, direction and pace, and couldn't do that.
Elliott. Livramento wanted a foul that wasn't given. Bate. Done by Pert Harris, in by Vale. Might be a foul by Colwell. Indeed it was on Sam Gibbons.
Yeah, it was a lazy challenge from Levi there. I mean, Gibbons is running at him. Looks like he's running out of ideas there, and he just plays the ball. He's actually going to get a yellow card for this challenge. You look at Gibbons here, he's running. He's got no options in front of him here. Just plays the ball into the air and runs after it himself. And it's a silly challenge from Levi Colwell there. But I'm not sure it warrants a yellow card. And also not sure Pert Harris should be getting involved in this either. I think just it's a poor decision for me, but no reason to complain from Pert Harris there.
I don't think they're going to play this short.
I'm hoping they might throw a few bodies in the box, which will leave space in behind. Is that another shot?
That's a shot on target. Never mind a shot. Well, they might not have done much in attack, but they've been very impressive defensively so far. And we're not far away from half-time, and Chelsea still haven't found a breakthrough goal. Surely a foul on Bate. Tripped over by Reece Long.
Yeah, you and I were trying to work out their shape earlier, and I'm telling you now, it's 10-0.
But it's effective, it's working. Now this might be a position for Lewis Bate to show us what he can do. Webster will want a thump as well, but you'd think it'd favour Bate from this position.
Totally agree. I think Lewis Bate left foot is favourite here, but we've seen Charlie Webster and the quality on set pieces he's had this year. So again, we've got two fantastic options. It's not the biggest wall either, by the way.
It's one off the training ground, almost came through for Webster. I do like to see that invention, but when you've got a goalkeeper whose handling's been suspect and you're that close to goal, sometimes it's better to just have a shot, isn't it?
I just think you complicate it sometimes when you don't really need to. I mean, it was a fantastic opportunity. We're all waiting with bated breath for Lewis Bate to smash it or bend it into the top corner. And I just think you complicate it when you, in them situations, you don't really need to.
Here's Colwell. Bates ball in. Tapped at the near post. He got the last touch. Here's a corner.
Yeah, Fylde making a good run this time across the near post there, and defender does really well as they've done on this opening 42 minutes. And it's a great ball initiative from Levi Colwell. Look how narrow though Livramento is. He's getting a little bit frustrated here, Tino, and the ball gets played back to Lewis Bate. And he plays it in with his right foot on this occasion. As I said, the defender does really well when Fylde was just trying to pull the trigger.
Goalkeeper less than certain again, and he's got some protection from the referee.
Again, the keeper's come out. I'm not sure he hasn't run into his own player here and yelled as he's gone up for it, and the referee said there's bodies in there. But I don't think Chelsea players are actually looking to block the goalkeeper at all here. In fact, it's his own defender who comes across and smashes him.
Protected species, aren't they, goalkeepers? But it looks like Lancaster's been hurt. Kieran Jones is the other Fylde player who's down. Let's have a look at that free kick once more, because we do like to see the invention, as I say. I mean, when they come off, they look terrific, those.
Yeah, well, that's the key, isn't it? You know, the coaches look magnificent when they come off, but when they end up like that, they don't really look so good. But to be fair to the wall, it did its job because it sussed out what was going to go on. And once that ball was played sideways, they actually the wall broke and got back in, and that's what's happened there. And I think as Charlie Webster's getting onto the ball, they got back and steered it away from him. Without stating the obvious, the coach of Fylde would be a very, very happy man 44 minutes in at 0-0. I mean, as I said, we know there's no surprises how they've played and how they've set up, but for Chelsea not to break them down in 44 minutes, he'll be an extremely happy guy at half-time.
See, it's the Chelsea medical staff who are are attending to Kieran Jones, who's the bigger concern here. Lancaster looks like he'll be okay. Mentioned that it's Manchester City or Everton for whoever wins this game. Man United playing Liverpool tomorrow as well. This is the incident again. This defender was just the meat and the sandwich, wasn't he, between Cole and the goalkeeper, and that's how he's got hurt.
Yeah, I don't think Cole's done anything wrong other than go in and try and challenge for the ball. Keeper got there before him, as did the centre half, and there was a collision. I don't think that's a foul. But either way, let's hope the young man gets over it and gets over the bang on the head. He's only got a couple of minutes before half-time.
There's going to be added time to the added time here, obviously. Bashir Humphreys that time.
And it's the same thing. Long ball to Harvey Gregson. Bashir Humphreys gets up there, but just uses his arm to leverage him out of the way. And again, the referee's right on the spot there and gives a free kick.
Give him jump, Rosie over. Main kick and drop back in. Jonesy narrow. Hey Jones narrow. Shape again. Come on. Channel.
Well, maybe one chance before half-time for Fylde to create something here. The Sam Birch throw.
Yes, Greg, brilliant you.
Decent little nod on that from Harvey Gregson. Elliott couldn't bring it under control though. Another shot from distance that doesn't bother Adegoke. Well, half a job, very well done, just about for Fylde.
Yep.
Room for Chelsea to improve.
And you've seen the intention, whenever they get anywhere near the goal, is to hit it from all angles. We've seen 2 from the halfway line and 1 there from 30 yards, but defensively, been very impressive.
They're not done yet, though. That's bounced up off Webster's arm.
Don't drop too early. Get your arms down. Out. Don't drop too early. Stay. Stay.
Concentration. Don't follow the ball.
From Humphreys back toward his own goal and then tidied up by Livramento.
Feed him, Lee. Okay, keep going. Go. Yes, hard. Go on, Lupe.
Here's Vale.
Higher out. Get out of there. Quick up. Feed it.
Bait. Nicely done.
Go in, Tino. Give it in.
Colwell. Here's Vale. It's a good looking cross. Corner to finish the half here for Chelsea. Just about time to take it.
Good defending again. Elliott was in. There was a good ball from Harvey Vale with his right foot on this occasion. Comes infield, smashes it to the near post. Elliott looks like he's going to get a touch, but again, good defending to get in there and get it away for a set piece.
Just trying to unsettle Lancaster.
You can see the size of their defenders there. They're not the biggest. Chelsea have got 2 or 3 inches. And I said a couple of good quality balls in. Don't give away silly free kicks. I mean, the referee's got his eye on it now.
short again. Here's Webster. That's a good ball, and round the back to...
No, you're kidding me.
I was going to say,
You
turn
are
it in, it's
kidding
Bashir
me.
Humphries. What a save from Aaron Lancaster.
Well, first of all, I was so disappointed that he didn't smash the ball into the box, but eventually the ball comes in, and it's a great little ball to the far post, and he just looks as though he's hit the target, done everything right, Bashir Humphries, but Lancaster gets a hand to it. Amazing save.
Struggling to get the resultant corner clear, though. Referee's had a look at his watch, and that is that. Well, with the last act of the first half, Chelsea came as close as they had done throughout it to taking the lead with that. Bashir Humphries had a brilliantly saved, but other than that, it has been a first half of frustration for Ed Brand and his team. AFC Fylde, no doubt the happier of the two with the half-time score at Kings Meadow in this Youth Cup fourth round tie, which is Chelsea 0, AFC Fylde 0. OK, well, there's been one big cup win in the Chelsea camp this week already. The women seeing off Wolfsburg at last to make it through to the semi-finals of the Champions League. Let's have a look behind the scenes at that game.
We've had to lose 8 times in the past to that team, so I know how it feels. So to make the progress we've made and showing the investment the club's made in all of us is, I think, probably the biggest win in Chelsea's history in my time here. So yeah, I'm extremely, I think, proud and yeah, grateful.
Yes, nice. Well done. So you've scored in both legs against your former team. How did it feel to score that penalty?
It was amazing, unbelievable, unbelievable feeling when we got the first, the second goal, and then also the third goal, and we knew like, okay, this is going home. And I think it was such an amazing effort from the team today. We fighted the whole game, ran a lot of kilometers.
Rest and refocus?
Rest and refocus and eat and sleep.
Enjoy the win. We certainly will.
Yes.
Any last one?
I'm really happy to win, but it's not enough. I want to win this tournament. Okay, this is it. So well done, everyone.
Tommy, that's brilliant from Emma Hayes at the end there. One of the biggest results, certainly in European football in Chelsea's history. And what did she say? I'm happy to win, but it's not enough.
Yeah, I love that. I mean, Wolfsburg have had a great record in that competition for years, and obviously I think Emma's doing a magnificent job there, and the club's commitment to the ladies team has been great as well, and they've returned the compliment. And please God, we'll have 2 people in the Champions League finals, one in Turkey. I don't know where the ladies final is, but certainly ours is in Turkey in the coming months. But great to see. I actually watched that game, and I thought some of the goals were fantastic. Some of the play was good, and I think it was Kerr's goal where she got the ball tight to her feet and just turned the defender and smashed it into the near post. Was world-class striking at any level.
Yep, Chelsea will have German opposition again in the semi later this month against Bayern Munich. Let's get back to today's game, though. A first half where Chelsea, well, they've tried their best, but they've come up against a white wall, Tommy.
They have, yeah. As I said, the formation was 10-0, but you know, we've huffed and we've puffed. We've got the ball out wide on the left. We've got it out wide on the right to Livramento. Lewis Bates had a couple of strikes at goal, but not hit the target. And whenever we have got it into the danger area, they've got bodies in the way. That's the opening few minutes. Beamer, for me, should have made more of that. There was a great ball in from Livramento. Plenty of pace on it. Just got to steer it into that far post. Gets it on target, but that doesn't really test the keeper.
And that's the opposite of what happened against Barnsley. That was a couple of minutes in. Soon-Sup Bell scored his, and an avalanche of goals followed. And it might have been the same today had that gone in. Absolutely.
This is, again, in the opening 10 minutes, Livramento, again, ball played from the left-hand side, this time from Lewis Bates, plays it into Livramento, gets good contact, but can't steer it onto the target, and there's not enough bodies in there to sort of touch it in. And you're right, I think, you know, when people come with a game plan like this, Matt, you know, you've got to break their hearts early. And if you don't do that, you give them hope. And sure enough, you know, at half-time, they've got plenty of hope.
Oh, Vivelle effective coming in off that left wing. That was his effort. And again, the goalkeeper's handling left a bit to be desired.
Yeah, he's got bodies in the way and he's got his gloves on the ball, but he hasn't really held on to anything. And, you know, you can see there, he just scrambles away from him. But again, there's no alert striker here wanting to touch that, to get the rebound in. And I think we lack a natural goal scorer in them areas.
As you can see, it has been one-way traffic if you missed the first half. This was the story of it. Chelsea battering at the door. Fylde refusing to let them in.
Yeah, again, left to right. Again, Livramento gets great contact on it, and the keeper gets his body in the way. Again, doesn't hold on to it. I think the defender gets in his way as well. Part Harris, again, tries to get the header on target, but misses.
Chelsea have played non-league opposition a few times in the Youth Cup before. On one occasion in particular, it proved to be tricky. Just a 1-0 win against Stevenage back in 2007. Might be one of those days again.
Yeah, I like this little man doing this, though. I think, you know, although he missed the target, that's the criticism. I mean, getting the ball out of his feet, one intention there to get a strike on goal. And as I said, if you keep doing that in the second half, you know, he will hit the target or get a deflection on or create something.
Yeah, more quality coming in from wide. You can see it's just the sheer weight of numbers for Fylde. The odds are in their favour in that respect. Not that many bodies in the way. Bale's had a good first half, hasn't he? Saw his ball in from the left there.
Yeah, I think both wide players have done well. Livramento on the right and Vale on the left-hand side. And you can see, again, it's Tino here, plays a great ball in. I think it's Beamer again. gets the final touch, and it falls through, and the keeper does handle that one, and again, it's a chance goes begging. It's just a simple ball in. We get bodies in the way, but Fiobima's shape, he's disappointed me a couple of times, Brian. I think he needs to get his head facing the goal, not sort of turn his head towards our goal, and he's never going to get a goal that way. This is the best chance of the lot, though, Matt, wasn't it? We all thought that was in. I mean, it's a great ball played to the far post. Humphries gets onto it. Keeper makes a great save, Lancaster, but look at the second ball there. I mean, it's Levi Colwell just looking to tap it in. He misses it as well, and it goes off for another corner.
A couple of things to point you in the direction of while we await the second half here. Following us, we'll hear from Thomas Tuchel giving his thoughts to the press ahead of the game against West Bromwich Albion at Stamford Bridge. Big week coming up for Chelsea, of course, with Porto in the Champions League on Wednesday as well. And we will have live football for you from PL2. That's on Tuesday night as the Young Blues take on West Ham. Before that, though, join Joe and the gang for all the build-up to the game against West Bromwich Albion. Saturday, 11:20, we kick off our coverage. That includes live commentary from Stamford Bridge with Ben Andrews and Jason Cundy. Well, this was Chelsea thinking that they could maybe have had a penalty. And the more you look at it, Tommy, actually, the more you think, well, maybe in an under-18 Premier League game that would have been given, but I don't know, maybe in the North West Youth Alliance they let you be a bit more rugged.
Well, possibly, but I have to say, with the letter of the law, he doesn't make contact with the ball. Ben Elliott gets in front of him here. You can see there, he doesn't make contact with the ball. Ben Elliott's first touch takes it out of the box, but contact is made in the box, and the referee, as we can see earlier from the replay, was probably 3 or 4 yards away, had a great view, and decided not to give it.
Would you be thinking about substitutions at this point, maybe?
Not at the moment. I just think that, you know, we need to up the tempo of the game when we are going at them. Keep that width. Don't get frustrated. I see the last sort of 10 minutes, Livramento was coming further and further in. Keep that width on the right-hand side and get the full-back and defenders out of certain areas. And what we need is like a Eden Hazard type, someone to go past someone, create some bedlam, draw people out of positions and slide people in. And keep that movement, but don't get frustrated. We saw a couple of balls, even Lewis Bate, for all his excellence and his lovely left foot, started to try little dinky balls which weren't actually on. Let's keep to the bases, but move the ball quick and get the ball in them final areas.
Wonder how many times across football boardrooms in the world we need an Eden Hazard type has been mentioned.
They're few and far between, that's for sure.
Here are the results that have already happened in this competition. You can see at the bottom the ties still to be played. Remember, the winner of this plays the winner of Man City v Everton. The winner of that plays either Spurs or West Brom in the quarter-finals. As Tommy pointed out earlier, though, big shot there is Burton beating Southampton, but look at West Ham's win against Norwich 2. Bristol City needing penalties to get past Fleetwood. Extra time and penalties a possibility today. No supporters allowed in the stadium, but improvisation is an important skill, not just on the football pitch.
Any vantage point will do. He's saying that he's seeing the future of Chelsea there out there.
Well, we are told that one of the men's FA Cup semi-finals will have supporters there. We hope, of course, that it is the one that involves Chelsea, but great news that maybe even the last 2 rounds of the Premier League season there will be some supporters in attendance. Especially as the Youth Cup heads towards its latter stages, Tom, where we always talk about, don't we, the finals and the semis when they come to Stamford Bridge. Massive moments for these.
Absolutely. The atmosphere's up, so obviously you get a crowd, and we've seen at Stamford Bridge for a couple of finals, you know, 4, 5, 10,000. So, you know, it's actually brilliant, and you know, it's something that these guys have to get used to. It's been a funny year for them because, you know, when you're playing in front of the crowds, you get praise, you get criticism, and you learn to handle both of them. And at the moment, they're getting neither. But I'm sure, listen, at half-time, Ed Brand's gone in and gone, listen, guys, you know, we're doing nothing wrong. You know, let's keep probing away. Let's keep the discipline, keep everything, keep the concentration. Not give silly free kicks away. A couple of set pieces on the halfway line in particular. Centre has been looking to push their big number 8 and give silly free kicks away. But apart from that, as I said, you can't criticise the boy. The one thing you can look at them and say, listen, you haven't stuck the ball in the back of the net.
Mentioned Chelsea have played non-league opposition before in this competition. That 1-0 against Stevenage. Pat Van Aanholt played in that game. They also beat Chipstead 9-0 back in the 97-98 season. Our friend and colleague Sam Parkin amongst the scorers that day. John Harley, who is the assistant to the under-23s, was in that team. Most recent, you might have enjoyed with us actually, I remember commentating on this back in 2013. 4-0 win against Dartford. Dom Solanke got a hat-trick. Lots of players in that team. I was looking through it. Tommy, who maybe not playing for Chelsea, but certainly having good Football League careers, like Safanti Darbo, Dion Conroy.
Yeah, and that's the key. Listen, they're not all going to play for Chelsea Football Club. That is it. But if they have careers at football through the upbringing that Chelsea have given them, then fantastic news. And by the way, I did that game with Dartford with you, and it was a very enjoyable at the recreation ground, if I remember rightly.
8 years ago. Where does the time go, eh?
Yeah, I've got more grey hairs now then, that's for sure.
Here's Webster for Chelsea. Can they get an early goal here in the second half and make things a little more easy as the game goes on? Can Fylde continue to defend the way they did in the first half? Bate. Humphrey still wondering how he didn't score with the last act of that opening 45.
Well, I think Colville the same. How didn't he touch the rebound in, but it evaded both of them.
Here's Webster. Hopeful ball in too high for Kurt Harrison. Fiabima. All the fifth round ties, by the way, must be played by the 17th of April. Will Chelsea be in the hat? If they are not, then we will have witnessed one of the greatest, maybe the greatest shock in the history of this competition.
I think we both came here today, Matt, and trying hard not to be disrespectful to Fylde, but I think we both said 5, possibly 6-0, and I'd like to see that now, that's for sure.
Webster, did he commit a foul there? Not in the view of the referee. Vale. Stood up a good-looking ball, and there is the opening goal. And it's taken less than 2 minutes of the second half to arrive, and it's Brian Fiabima who is celebrating.
Well, it was coming, wasn't it? It took 46 minutes, but again, it's wide play that really excels. We've seen Livramento on the right. This time it's Harvey Vale on the left-hand side who finally gets onto the ball. Ball's played out of him. Not so sure Charlie Webster doesn't give a free kick away there. They're appealing for it, but again, the referee's 3 or 4 yards away. Eventually it comes out to Harvey Vale, and he pushes the fullback back to the byline here. Dinks a great ball to the middle of the goal. This time Fiabima does head it in the correct area, and the keeper there's got absolutely no chance. He's, what, 2 or 3 yards out. A good header. I think he still gets a deflection though. I think Main Walder, the number 4, actually gets the final contact, but Brian Fiabima will claim it, and we got one on the board.
Well, you heard the immediate cry from the Fylde bench, we're still in it. You just wonder what that will do in terms of their mentality, and Chelsea's, of course. It puts a spring in their step.
Well, after 45 minutes of frustration, you've got 1 minute of ecstasy, which is brilliant. As I said, the game plan changes completely now. Chelsea's doesn't. They'll still want to drive forward and say get them 4 or 5 goals we were all expecting before the game. But certainly Fylde's will change a little bit. And I'm not so sure now, but certainly in the next 10, 15 minutes, you'd expect them to sort of put more metal to the pedal and try and sort of get that goal back and create some opportunities in the final third, which will then create space for us to exploit.
Here's Humphreys. Vale got Colwell on the overlap. This cross was a good one. Oh, Livramento was coming in at the far post. Picked up by Bate. Webster. Lazy the pass from Colwell, and allowed Gibbons to intercept it.
Minimal touches to switch centrally.
Livramento.
Go in on it, Lou. Go in on it. Show the remote.
Christian turning one way then the other. It's a good ball as well. Oh, header clawed out of the sky from Harvey Vale.
Yeah, but they're getting the balls in much earlier now, and Livramento again tormenting the left back. Good ball played to the far stick. Harvey Vale gets up, good header. Comfortable save for the goalkeeper in the end, but that's 2 headers in the 6-yard box in this opening 3 or 4 minutes.
Elliott. Fylde rather couldn't link up with him again.
Nice robust challenge there from young Bates, and the referee seems to be allowing a lot of them challenges go, which I quite like.
Well, he got the response he was looking for from his players.
Yeah, Jamie Simmonds alongside him. As I said, the half-time talk must have been a bit of a strange one, having that much possession and not sticking the ball in the net. But as I said, that's been sorted very early in the second half. You and I both spoke at half-time off air about fatigue. And just ways a great ball played in here. Oh,
By Vale, where's it going to end up? Could have been an own goal.
I think that's a corner, isn't it? Did it come off the defender last? No, Elliott's tried to chase it down, maybe got the last contact. But we talked about fatigue, Matt, didn't we? And the fact that these young men from Fylde would never have played at this pace for 90 minutes. And whilst their shape's been great and they've really, really worked hard, that's got to tell in the last 25, 30 minutes of the game. And albeit Chelsea scored obviously in the second minute of the second half, so that's good anyway. But I said that the more and more it goes on, the more fatigue will kick in.
So Elliott's had a Livramento chase it down. Birch managed to beat him to it. Here's Webster. Good ball. Elliott. Livramento's cross deflected, and that enabled Lancaster to grab it. For his touch. Elliott will try and put some pressure on Birch. And it worked. Fiabima. Livramento again with the cross. Might come for Colwill.
Again, obviously the half-time chat was just get balls in the 6-yard box and create opportunities, and we're doing that in this opening 5 minutes of the second half. Again, it's Livramento on the right. Great ball played in. And you heard Ed Brand from the side there. Go on, Levi, sneaking at the far post. And he nearly got the second ball there, but unfortunately it just went through to the goalkeeper.
No foul by Gilchrist.
Yeah, get it, Miles. Look forward. Quicker.
Looks to switch a play. Not quite find its intended target, but it came out nicely for the hit from Bate, and that's a good save from Lancaster. But that technique out of this world from Lewis Bate.
Well, also the instinct. I mean, absolutely. The defender actually just plays the ball wrongly. He plays it into his path. But look, no second thought here. Smash. I'm going to give that a whack. And the quality of the strike is unreal. To be fair to the goalkeeper, he's done really, really well, because he couldn't have seen that coming. It was a snapshot, and he's really reacted well there.
He's hurt himself trying to make the save. Not for the first time, Lancaster. Well, 9 times out of 10, those kind of efforts end up out of the ground, but that was heading very much for the net.
Well, we saw Weldy in the Barnsley game, didn't he? That he hit from, albeit from this side of the pitch, that whistled into the far corner. Again, it's a fantastic strike with his favoured left foot. And as I said, to be fair to Lancaster, he makes a real good one-handed save.
Well, then we'll hope not to have to bring on the substitute goalkeeper, of course, but he's out there warming up just in case. So difficult to keep that on target, Tommy.
Well, I said technique, power, everything was superb from Lewis Bate. And as I said, the awareness, the instinct, It was all there. He just didn't get his rewards with it, ended up in the back of the net.
Well, Lancaster is going to carry on for now. See if those two have cooked up another special set piece here. Work short once more. Webster. Give the room for a shot here, Webster. He was desperate to take it, even as the angle narrowed.
You can see all the way along there, along the edge of the box, he was trailing, looking for that little bit of an angle to feed it into that far post, and he tries it eventually, loses his balance and misses the target. You can see all the time he's trying to size up the opportunity. He eventually gets that half a yard, and just can't steer it on.
A new sub in the final last season, Charlie Webster, so he'll be extra keen to make sure that Chelsea get there again. Not a great clearance from Lancaster. I wonder if he's still feeling that injury. Well, the second goal you would think kills it once and for all, but at 1-0, Fylde are still in it.
Yeah, I mean, they've shown no real attacking intention since the first goal. As I said, I think they'll just try and keep their powder dry, keep the scoreline as it is, and then give themselves an opportunity to maybe, get a set piece or something later in the game. But the way the game's going, Matt, you can only see Chelsea getting a second, third, and possibly even fourth.
Oh, it might come now. It's off the post. Where's the rebound going to go? Cleared off the line from Pert Harris. Can Elliott put it in? Now Fylde have got the bodies back. Well, Lancaster got away with a bad mistake then.
That looked like just comedy of errors. I don't understand how Lancaster didn't pick the ball up there. Oh, what a ball.
Fail stood up his cross to the far post,
oh, no.
and that really should have been 2.
But that's
not a
Fylde.
good attempt.
I mean, that's again, Harvey Val can do no more. He just puts it on a plate for Brian Fylde. The one thing I will say, he just links it up there, and there's no real pace on the ball. So Fylde has to try and generate it, which he tries to do there. But he misheads it completely. He's got to hit the target there.
Well, let's hope that Chelsea won't rue these missed opportunities. That was the Lancaster spill. Just totally misjudged the flight of the ball, I think.
Yeah, and then Elliott tries to feed to Bert Harris, and he doesn't get good enough contact to beat the defender on the line. And again, the keeper gets away with one.
Get in the box, Mo.
Livramento. Colwell being encouraged to add to the numbers in the attack. Here he is. Oh, he hit that straight and true, and it was palmed away by the goalkeeper.
Yeah, you can see the attention in this opening 12 minutes of it's a pen.
Well, that is a penalty decision for the referee, and he has pointed to the spot. Pert Harris caught, didn't get one in the first half. He's got this one though.
Yeah, it was a definite penalty for me. Again, it's a lunge from the defender. Pert Harris a little bit brighter, a little bit quicker to the ball. Defender comes out, tries to get it, doesn't. Makes contact with him, definite penalty.
Humphreys had done well there because he stopped a break and it turned into a useful ball. It was a challenge that didn't really need to be made. No. Pert Harris wasn't going to the goal.
As I said, it's a poor first touch from the defender, and he tries to make up for it with the lunge, and Pert Harris is just that little bit brighter, a little bit quicker to the ball, and a chance for Lewis Bate to really seal the game.
Can he get his second goal of this Youth Cup campaign? Lancaster trying to deny him. Bate to put Chelsea one step closer to round 5. Oh, he's missed it. Dragged it wide. Goalkeeper guessed right, but didn't need to make the save. And once again, the story of this game is Chelsea's wastefulness.
Yeah, I mean, that's unreal. I mean, from a player who's got so much quality, such a wand of a left foot, to miss the target is very disappointing. But that would have definitely sealed the game, and it should have been a stroll in for the boys. But we've kept Fylde in the game.
And they are going to make a substitution in response to that. Curtis Poole is the player who's coming on in place of Reece Long. Well, Chelsea have played well here, right up until the final action in front of goal.
Yeah, I mean, you know, you can look at it, analyse it all day long, and you know, first of all, let's give Fylde some credit, but Chelsea couldn't do no more. They've passed the ball well, the movement's been good, the balls in from the side have been good. Livramento and Val, right and left, have done their jobs, but I didn't think when the ball's gone in that 6-yard box, we haven't shown enough commitment or quality to stick the ball in the back of the net, and the penalty miss is a strange one. To said Lewis Bate all day long, you expect him to hit the target.
Well, be keen to make amends. Here he is on the ball.
Ready to go in half. That's just lock on. Go on, Levi. You're not doing two. Go out. Go out. Keep it back.
Whipped in by Vale, another good ball. Delivery from wide area has been very good from Chelsea today.
But it's been quicker in the second half, hasn't it? Got it out the feet, get it in the box. Get it out the feet, get it in the box, and that's from right and left. It's been exactly the same.
A cute ball into Webster. Trying to spin it on one more for Fiabima. Vale on for Colwell. Fizzed his crossover. Still attack against defence. We're just over an hour gone. Oh, and almost a second goal there for Fiabima.
Yeah, again, it's a great ball played in from the right-hand side. We've seen one from the left, fizzed in, as you said, from Colwell. Livramento on this occasion fizzes it into the near stick. Again, Fiabima gets up and just can't steer his header onto the target. He's got one goal in the second half, but he could have had 3.
Lots of headed chances coming his way as well.
Yeah, totally agree.
Yes, Levi.
Gilchrist. Some great names wearing that number 9 shirt for Chelsea in this competition down the years. Bet you wore it too, didn't you, Tommy?
I did, yeah. Yeah, I was. We had a very, very strong team. Unfortunately, we got beat by West Ham in the semi-final. But you know, I think there was probably 8 of our boys at that stage were actually playing first-team football, and we still couldn't get an FA Youth Cup trophy on the board. So it just shows you how difficult it is to win, and we've done that on a regular basis.
Pert Harris. Can Fylde get over halfway? I haven't really done it since the start of the second half. Webster. Here's Bate. Now Colwell. That's a lovely looking ball, well defended too.
Yeah, it was a great ball played in again. Fiabima was coming in at the far post, and as I said, you can see the team talk at half-time was, let's just get the ball in the box and let's get bodies in there and on the end of them.
Changes on the way for Chelsea. Bale. Here's Elliott. Oh, brilliant goal. That should do it. Terrific hit from Ben Elliott, who gets his second goal of this Youth Cup campaign. And will that be the goal that sends Chelsea through to round 5?
Well, much deserved, and Ben Elliott's done really well here. Again, it's a good build-up from Chelsea. Again, it's Harvey Vowley involved on this left-hand side, and they get 3 or 4 bodies over, and that creates a space for Elliott to get the ball in there. Gets a great first touch out of his feet and smashes it with his second one. And the amount of problems Vowles caused that here meant 3 bodies came out. There was lack of bodies in the box to pick up Ben Elliott, and that's a great finish.
Been a Chelsea boy since he was 8 years old, Ben Elliott. His brother Kit was part of the Chelsea Academy for a while too. And he is 2-2 in this season's Youth Cup.
You know, against that, I was just about to make a comment, and I'm pleased I didn't, but I will admit to it, is that I wanted to see, you know, Ben Elliott and Miles Peart-Harris have more effect in the game. You know, you've seen the wide boys getting involved, and we've seen Lewis Bate running in there with Charlie Webster. These other 2 boys didn't really get involved in the game until that situation there, and Ben has really put his name on the score sheet, and I think that's settled the game now, Matt.
Bate will be feeling better about his penalty miss now. The second goal's gone in. Livramento easily past his man. Nice cross as well. And there's Colwill for 3. Quite catch the volley right.
Yeah, again, it's Livramento tormenting Sam Birch. We can see, I think, that the fatigue, the young left-back was done really well in the first half, but he just simple knocks the ball past him and he can't react. He gains a good yard on him there, and the ball falls to Colwill there, and it's weaker right foot, and he misses the target.
Far less defending in the second half. He's part of the Chelsea attack pretty much. It'll be a Chelsea corner. Just can almost visibly see the Fylde players wilting a little bit now as we get to the 70-minute mark, and the game may be beyond them.
Well, exactly. I think the 2 goals have broke their hearts a little bit. Added to that, they worked so hard in the first half and their legs are going as well. So I think mentally this is going to be tough for them to keep that concentration and that shape.
Humphreys. Oh, it's loose. Peart-Harris is in there. Webster too. Bate. And from Vale. Yeah, break on here. Prince had a go, okay. Desperate for a touch of the ball on halfway. Actually, wasn't the best clearance from the goalkeeper.
I was just about to say they've got no out ball, and they whack one over the top, and they've got a one-on-one almost. If the keeper don't react as quickly as he did. I mean, he's just been a total spectator, hasn't he, in the whole game, and so he wanted to get involved on the halfway line.
Here's Colwill again offering that support for Vale. Came out for Gilchrist. Can he get the shot away? How about that footwork from the defender, and then Webster? What a goal that would have been. And it would have been some assist from Alfie Gilchrist.
Alfie Gilchrist is doing Johan Cruyff turns. He's doing all sorts there, and eventually falls there to Charlie Webster. Look at this little turn here. Fantastic. Falls to Webster, and look at that. Just tries to bend it in the far corner. Again, just misses the target.
go. Chelsea goalkeeper can say he's made a meaningful contribution to the game now.
He'll go down as a misplaced pass, though. He's 0 for 1 in the stats.
Chance here for the players to get some refreshment. What do you do now if you're Comrade Prendergast? Do you say just go out all out for it and try and get a goal, something to take back, or actually a 2-0 defeat is obviously it's not the result they came for, but it's not a bad one either, in terms of they're playing against a team with infinitely more resources and quality about them, and you'd look at that and think, wow, Fylde did well there.
Well, for 45 minutes they were magnificent. To a man, absolutely. They rode their luck, but they got their bodies in the way, so I think the coach can be proud of that. Obviously their hearts were broken early on in the second half, but they've stuck at it. They're still getting bodies in the way, still getting a little bit of luck with a few ricochets in the box. But now I think you go out on your sword. I mean, you can say in 70 minutes we held them to 2-0, all right, they beat us 5, but eventually, you've got to go for it. And it's a strange thing to say because Chelsea have been so dominant, but one goal from a set piece or something all of a sudden gets the nerves jangling. As good as Chelsea and experienced as Chelsea are, might get the nerves jangling a little bit. So as I said, go out on your sword, give it the last 20 minutes and give it your best shot. I will also add, I think their sword's blunt. Because I'm not sure they've got many attacking players with any legs there at the moment, but maybe a couple of substitutions will help them.
They're known as the coasters. They certainly haven't been doing that. Here comes the first Chelsea change of the game. Slightly surprised maybe that it's taken this long to arrive, but it is Dion Rankin, who is a veteran in terms of Youth Cup standards. Anyway, player we've seen lots of times with the under-23s as well, who comes on for, well, including stoppages, let's say the final 20 minutes, in place of the man who got that second goal, Ben Elliott.
Yeah, no mean replacement. We've seen Dion at PL2 level and this level, and a very effective young man.
What can he do in the final few minutes here? Started the final last season, Rankin. Chelsea scored 3 in the league at Southampton last weekend. Can they get a third goal with time running out here, I wonder? Blustery afternoon now. Bait over the corner.
Win your head. Good. Run it, Jonesy. Kerr, peel off.
Good strength from Harvey Vale.
Yeah, and good defending as well. He didn't dive in. They're just trying to play the ball down the side of him, down the channel, and he stood firm and, as he said, didn't dive in and made a good challenge.
Livramento. Gregson's got to do it all himself here. It's really good hold-up play. The player who's barely touched the ball.
Yeah, he's been quite physical though, hasn't he? The 3 or 4 free kicks they got on the halfway line were due to him making challenges with our centre halves, and the centre halves were nudging him a little bit, and he got free kicks for it. But he's been a handful up there, but he certainly was on his own on that last foray forward.
Livramento switched to the left side now. Rankin's come on. Bait. Scooped in by Livramento. So if you're Chelsea then, if we assume there's no great late comeback from Fylde here, do you want Manchester City and the chance to get some revenge for last season, or do you want Everton and maybe theoretically a slightly easier tie?
always go for the easy tie. You know, obviously the glory is beating Manchester City, but you know, at the end of the day, I think you just want to get through to the final and win the trophy again. So how you get there, the easiest route possible for me is the right route.
Fairly sure Liam Delap's still eligible for City. I mean, scored in the final last season, scored for the first team, scored against Chelsea's under-23s, you might have seen with us.
And yeah, and he was very effective, big physical boy. He will definitely test the back three of Chelsea if it is Manchester City.
Another Chelsea corner here, they're racking those up in the second half. 15 to play.
The thing about them games, Matt, is that they're actually easier to play in because the other team actually believe they can beat you and they're going to create space, and it's going to be like we saw the PL2 game was fantastic to watch because it was end-to-end, it's like a basketball match, and they've all got great belief in their abilities.
It's had it hung in the air a long time there. That's a bit daft from Kirby.
Yeah, it's a yellow card offence as well. You're not allowed to do that, and I think it's a silly challenge. They had a few words there, the goalkeeper, Lancaster and him. Don't know why about that last challenge, and got a yellow card for his troubles.
Joins Colwill in the book. Well, the first trick worked, but Harris didn't fall for the second one. Oh, and you could see that coming from a long way away, and there is going to be a card for Kieran Jones for that.
He's actually done very well with the dummy that got Fiobeamer out of the way, and he should have just played it up the line. Then he tried to sell another dummy, as you said, to Pert Harris, and then he's lost control of the ball, and that is without shadow of a doubt a yellow card.
It's the follow-through that really hurt Webster. He's okay, and the way he's sizing up this free kick, you just wonder if he fancies having a crack.
Well, they passed up the opportunity in the first half, didn't they? And I think this would just be played in a 6-yard box. Yeah.
Good, Jonesy!
Jones had given away the free kick, was the player who turned it behind.
Yeah, I'm just looking who's. It was Harvey Val. If he gets the slightest of touches, that's in the back of the net, but unfortunately misses it completely.
Oh, goalkeeper caught that around chest height. Is that something like goalkeeping for Adigoke to do?
Well, that's 2 passes out he's misplaced. He's 0 for 2 now.
That's for handball there from 5 players.
Yeah, mainly from the coaches this side, though. They're absolutely screaming for everything at the moment.
Here's Fiobeamer. The committed numbers forward there, they might be caught out.
Got to move it quick.
Livramento.
Daz, in.
Play this from Bate all the way to the dead ball line and cuts it back. It's broken for Livramento. Defender inside the 6-yard box kicked it away.
Yes, Dion, tracking Tino.
With the fancy footwork, he was being fouled. Referee says play on. Oh, Beamer couldn't match him. Rankins picked up the pieces, but the referee's given a free kick for Fylde.
Yeah, it's a soft free kick, but Beamer again tries to step over and loses control of the ball as we're getting a little bit of momentum on that right-hand side. But as you say, the ball was just played up to their big number, Harvey Gregson. Again, he's got no real support up there. He's holding the ball up quite well, to be honest, but he's absolutely got no support. They can't get up to join him.
Here's Webster. Humphries with some defending to do. Gregson will keep him alert. Looks shattered, doesn't he? Poor lad. Got through so much running and had so few touches.
Exactly. He's got no support up there. He's making 40-yard runs, and unfortunately his team is still on the edge of their own box.
I'm sure you can sympathise with that. The striker's lot sometimes, isn't it?
Yeah, listen, it's the glory position. You stick the ball in the back of the net, but when you work as hard as he has today for no real reward, as I say, it's been a tough afternoon's work. However, as we made the point before, you know, anyone looking for a big, strong centre forward who's going to create a bit of havoc, you know, and be aggressive and make runs in behind, there's 3 or 4 scouts in there who might just fancy the chance of taking him to their club.
So his flick on there, he got it second time, and I was about to say won a free kick. Nice ball from Vale inside for Webster. Chelsea looking to exploit some spaces as Fylde look for a goal themselves. Won't do it with passes like that, though.
Yeah, it's a poor ball from Lewis Bate. Trying to find Dion Rankin, wasn't enough purchase on the ball there.
More changes coming.
Yes, be aware in here. Let's touch it, get out of there. Just keep feeding it, Sam.
Webster.
Quicker in there, Miles.
Header from Beamer, no problem for Lancaster. Beamer not going to get too close. Defending from Humphries. Did stayed in play with the Chelsea ball. Livramento. Oh, what's a good effort from Livramento. Moved in the air as well, which made it a decent stop.
Well, what a strike. Again, great little 1-2 with Harvey Val, but there was no... Once again. Oof. There was absolutely no other thought in his mind, but I'm going to strike this, and he did really, really well. Again, the keeper makes a real good save. Little 1-2 here, gets it out of his feet, smash. And the keeper, again, got good hands, gets it out of the danger area, and another opportunity goes. But again, whatever side he plays Tino Livramento, whether he's coming in on the left, on his right foot, or on the right-hand side, he's a handful, isn't he?
Bate. Right ball. Right into the feet of Pert Harris. Left it on for Rankin.
This is a strike again. I mean, very little lift back with his right foot there, but great strike, none the same, and bending into that far corner. Keeper moves his feet real well, makes it look like an easy save, but it was a good strike.
Rankin back, helping out. Webster into the channel for Fylde to chase, and the defender missed it. Bale's inside the penalty area. Fylde couldn't pick him out.
No, to be fair, he had very few options there, and he eventually got the bodies back there and negated the space for him to play the ball. But it was a mistake made by the defender, who's tried to get in front of Fylde and lost control of it.
Attack that near post. What's a decent effort again, blocked on the edge of the 6-yard box, but Harris was winding up the volley, but it wouldn't quite come for him. Bait. Here's Gilchrist. Jimmy Turainen's been waiting to come off the bench for quite a while now down there. He's hoping the clock doesn't beat him.
I've seen him been warming up for about 20 minutes, but said the ball's not got out of play yet.
Now, he will get the opportunity to come on. Jimmy Turainen will replace Miles Peart-Harris for the last few minutes here. He is a Finnish attacking player. Left footer, but more often than not actually prefers to play right side. We'll see what he can do for the last couple of minutes here.
A lot of left footers do. As I said earlier, you know, you could, Livramento, when he comes on in from the left on his right side, he's more effective, can have a strike at goal and can go both ways, and I'm sure it's the same for this young man.
4 minutes in the bank for Peart-Harris as he works his way back to fitness. Substitution too for Fylde. Max McCarthy's the player who's come on. Gregson, the striker, who has withdrawn. He's probably lying down.
I think he struggled to walk off the pitch. He's so tired. Really worked hard for the team, Gregson, today, and if there's been successes in their team, he's probably one of them. Had a decent game.
Livramento toward the final minute of regulation time. Webster. Bait. just unable to take that away from the defender. He's got it back now, though. He might have a pop. Maybe wish he did. Colwill. It's good play from Colwill. He's got all the way into the penalty area. Livramento's shot. It's come back for Vale. And then it hit Livramento. They're struggling to get it away here, Fylde. Out as far as bait.
And them clearances were tired minds and tired bodies there. They just can't get the ball out there at the area. Eventually the keeper makes a simple save, but like pinball wizard in the box there, wasn't it?
Come on, get in again. Come on, yes, Levi. Just properly, see on. Be alive, Jimmy, yes.
See the fourth official's ball, but we're into added time. Bates switching it right side for Rankin. Good run as well. Stood up a great ball. Oh, and Fiabima, another headed chance. Incredible.
That's 4 in the second half. One he did finish, but I have to say that the supply from the wide areas in this second half has been superb. This time it's Dion Rankin, gets to the byline, dinks a fantastic ball to the 6-yard box. There's 2 of them, Harley Val and Brian Fiabima there. And I have to say Fiabima's effort was poor.
Silko Thomas, instantly recognisable with that mop of long hair. He's going to come on for the very last knockings, as is Oliver Orr for AFC Fylde. Thomas, who played for England under-17s on Tuesday in a friendly against the Watford under-23 side. That's football in 2021 for you.
And Tino Livramento gets a well-earned rest for 2 minutes of extra time.
He'll beat his mates into the showers if nothing else. Here's Thomas. First involvement for him. Managed to get the cross in as well. Straight into the keeper's gloves, though.
3 minutes.
Well, 3 extra minutes were signalled, so Chelsea are just about there. Might as well have a shot from this free kick then. Be the furthest out that they've tried to test. How'd it go, okay?
It's 20 yards nearer.
Go on, send the goalie up, why not?
Well, all the big boys from the back are going up.
Why are they leaving 2 men back, though? Well, this will be the last significant act of the game. Didn't make it as far as the penalty area, not first time anyway. Webster's done well to bounce straight up.
Yeah, he did. Looked like an awkward landing.
Humphries with the header at the near post. Adegoke will be tested now. Oh, and he didn't get there. And Fylde appealing for a goal. It's not given, though.
No, there's no chance he went over the line, hit the post and came out.
And that is that. And Chelsea are through to the 5th round of the FA Youth Cup, albeit they were made to work extremely hard by their opponents from non-league. Had to wait until the second half for the deadlock to be broken. That man, Brian Fiabima, did it just 2 minutes after the restart. Then a thunderous strike from Ben Elliott adding to the score. It meant that Lewis Bates missed penalty. Didn't matter a great deal in the end. Chelsea will play either Manchester City or Everton in round 5. They've beaten AFC Fylde here by 2-0. Well, before we go, let's have a look back at the best bits of this game. Plenty for Fylde to be proud about, but in the end, Tommy, Chelsea's class just showed through.
It did, but I have to say Fylde could take a lot of credit out of the game. I think the players, the coaching staff stuck to the game plan, made it very difficult for Chelsea. Almost a frustrating 2-0 win, if there is such a thing. And you can see early on, Chelsea had some great opportunities. That was Livramento hitting the target, keeper getting lucky, coming up to Peter Harris, who can't head it on the target with the rebound. But this was what happened all of the first half. Chelsea pressurising, getting balls into the danger areas, but not finishing them off.
This was right at the end of that first half. Moment for Lancaster in goal to remember.
Yeah, it was a great ball played in. Again, Humphries has done the right thing, headed back to where it's come from. Thinks he's scored, keeper sticks out an arm, then it's falls to Levi Cole, who can't get anything on it to steer it onto the target.
So a frustrating first half, but it didn't take long for Chelsea to get the first goal of the game once play resumed.
Yeah, I think there was a bit of a foul from Charlie Webster into the box, wasn't given. Ball played out here, and the wide players have been magnificent all game, and that's a great ball played in from Harvey Val. On this occasion, Fiorbima gets good contact onto it. I think the last contact is from Main Ward, the centre half, number 4 there, but it doesn't matter. Ends up in the back of the net. 1 minute into the second half, the nerves are settled.
And we thought that there might be a flurry of Chelsea goals thereafter. There were plenty of chances, but again, got to praise the defending from the home team. And I mean, that is just brilliant from Bate, isn't it? An equally good save almost.
Well, it's a poor clearance from Sam Birch initially, which plays the ball straight into his path. But the instinct, the quality of the strike was magnificent. And to be fair to Lancaster, he couldn't have expected it. Saw it very late, sticks up a real strong arm and steers it over the target. But great bit of play there from Lewis Bate.
Fylde continue to defend manfully, but Chelsea good in wide areas all day. That was where they got a lot of joy. Goalkeeper almost spilled one there from Bate.
Well, I think all game he sort of rode his luck, hasn't he? In the first half, he had 3 or 4 saves, which he didn't hold any of them. And on this occasion, the ball zips away from him there. And then with the rebound, there's Elliott in there, there's Miles Peart Harris, and none of them can get it onto the target and in the back of the net.
Colwell's effort here palmed away by the goalkeeper. And this would result in the Chelsea penalty. No doubt about the decision.
No, absolutely. I mean, Jones actually gets to the ball first, but his first touch actually plays it into the path of Miles Peart Harris, and he just gets to the ball quicker than him. And the second challenge is definitely a penalty.
And we assume, because it was Lewis Bate, that it would be 2-0, but he put it wide.
And the wand of a left foot, but unfortunately, little man couldn't hit the target on this occasion. And you can see the number 5 there, Alex Rhodes, mimicking him a little bit there and giving him a bit of stick, but it doesn't matter at the end of the day.
But Chelsea didn't let that affect them too much. They kept creating chances. Eventually, one was thumped in by Ben Elliott. Really good finish there.
Yeah, and against this Harvey Val setting it up. Eventually, he was having so much success at here, they sort of triple-teamed him. And there was space in there for Elliott. There's a great strike into the near stick there, and that was game over.
Right at the end, Fylde had an opportunity. And a Goke in the Chelsea goal. Maybe not quite expecting that, having done nothing, just about dealt with it. But it didn't matter in the end. Chelsea going through by 2-0 to face either Manchester City or Everton in round 5. Many thanks for your company today. Thanks to Tommy too. We are going to pass over now to Thomas Tuchel, who is addressing the press ahead of the game against West Bromwich Albion. So stick around for that. Remember, Match Day Live with all the build-up to that from 11:20 tomorrow. And on Tuesday night, we've got live football too from PL2, West Ham United versus Chelsea. From myself, Matt Davis-Adams and Tommy Langley, many thanks for your company today. Finished here, Chelsea 2, AFC Fylde 0.